Well, hey everybody, welcome aboard. Me and my buddy Razor here are going to go do some hand mining. This isn't something that you would do to make a tremendous amount of money. This is definitely kind of an entry-level gameplay loot type thing that you did. It's something that I did really early. I cut my teeth on it. We don't even know. We're not sure we're going to make hardly any money or how it's going to go. Caves are incredibly dangerous, but we thought we'd just go have some fun and do a little hand mining in the caves tonight. So that's what we're up to. So we'll go ahead and jump into the Pisces and get started here. Now, one of the things I was just going to mention, before we get too off to John and just amongst ourselves and not necessarily for the video, is you can see Razor here very smartly has activated himself a flare. So when you're inside, obviously our suits have lights on them, but when you go cave spelunking, nothing wrong with a little extra light source in there. It's a good thing to have, and you can use those actually to find your way back. You can drop them on the floor, and if you're having a hard time finding, if you're heading down in a spot, you might find that it's a decent thing to drop off. The only other thing I'll mention here is I'm going to jump into the inventory. You can see here on the ship I've actually loaded some extra pyro tools. The suits are too big to fit into the ship, but I've got the multi-tools and some mining attachments, a few extra med pens, and a few extra oxy pens, which is probably not a bad thing to have when you go on a little adventure like this. The cool thing about the Pisces is it's a little ship, but it fits 3 guys, and it's got the 2 extra jump seats back there. So strapped in, all right, Razor, ready to go?
I am ready to go, sir.
So Razor very graciously, I talked him into doing a little hand mining tonight. So we're just gonna go have a little fun and do this. So go ahead and fire up the ship. I think we're gonna try to go to Kudra, which is that it's like a closed mining station. I think I went down in that cave one time. Actually, this one time when I had the raft, the Argo raft, and I took it there and landed just to do a little bit of a walk around in Damar's light. I noticed that there was just a ton of minables there, and I was like, "What are those?" Like, I literally got out of the ship and I was looking around on the ground. It almost looked to me like as if like a RO, when an ROC breaks a rock, and there's all those
little crystals around.
Yeah, exactly, all those little crystals around. I thought it actually was that, dude. I was like, "What the heck?" And I went, I got out of my ship, and it wasn't that. They were like underneath. So I ran down into the cave, and I was like, "Dude, there's a lot of mineable rocks down here." Now, obviously, there's the 3 types of hand minables. There's Dolovine, Aphrite, and Hadanite. And we're going after the Hadanite. It's like almost a pinkish hue. And we'll look at those when we get into the cave. Hopefully, if we have to, I think we're going to start out by going to Kudra, and if that doesn't work, or there's no minables there, or I fell and hit my head with a rock or something, we can always go out and actually grab a cave mission where you're rescuing the cave person. I'll show that example of one of those missions before we go fly down to Kudra first, for the sake of the video. But a couple of things. One of the reasons we're in a Pisces and we're wearing Pembroke is because this is entry. You can do this when you first get started in Star Citizen. You don't need obviously a suit of Pembroke costs a little bit. I started out hand mining. That's what I did. The first few missions that I did were just those box delivery missions. Made a few bucks, and then I went and started doing hand mining the minute I could afford, a Pembroke suit. And Pembroke is designed for hot weather planets. There's the Navikov for cold and Pembroke for the warm planets. That stuff's available in the refineries. So I'm going to look around here.
I think you can get into a Pembroke for around 15,000. I think the
Yeah,
for itself is 10 plus your helmet and your backpack.
that's exactly right, and around 15,000 is not too bad. And the good news is that's just a couple of those box delivery missions. So that's not bad. Yeah, Kudra Mine. It's Kudra Ore Mine, and it's closed. That's where we're gonna fly down to. This is where I have not done any hand mining except for prison in a little while, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, it's been since like 3.14 for me, so it's been a minute.
Yep, and then obviously the Pembroke. The other point I want to make about the Pembroke is it has a really good sized backpack. Like as far as the backpack goes, it's considerable. It's got a lot of room to stick stuff in it.
Quantum drive is now up.
Alright, so Kudra's 22 out. The good news is the Pisces will zoom right along. Be right over there in just a sec. And we'll, try to go down there in Kudra in these big old clown suits and see how we do. Daymar's a hot planet, very warm. So having the Pembroke, if not necessarily, you don't necessarily need it in the caves. The caves kind of tend to even back out as far as the temperature goes. But if you're rock mining, there is no protection in that thing. You definitely wanna.
No, yeah, that rock, you feel everything in the atmosphere. There's no heaters in there or AC.
Yeah, it's cold. It's hot. So you definitely want to have the. The environmental suits for that stuff. So here we kind of come on down. We're not gonna make too much fuss here. Oh, I can see. Actually, I'm gonna put it on this side. I think. I'm gonna go ahead and pivot around. Well, this is Star Citizen. The beauty, just looks beautiful. All right, we'll drop her in. Turn off the engines. I would definitely recommend that. And we will go ahead and get out of the ship. And right over here is, this is where we're headed in.
I'll let you lead the way, my friend.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. We definitely don't want to do a whole lot of crawling. And, I don't recommend crawling in caves at all. If you can avoid it. These caves can be a buggy mess. Now, as we get down in here, I'm going to actually hit T, which turns on my light. And we're going to come down here and do a little cave spelunking. So we're looking for rocks that have, that they just have some marbling through them. The other thing that I do tend to find is it's not a bad idea to slow down. Like, you don't have to run through the cave. I mouse wheel back a little bit and just kind of take it, try and slow down and take her a little easy through here. Tripping and falling and getting yourself into weird gaps and stuff can sometimes be really... Now, here's the first... This is Dolovine. And see how that's got the green in it? It's got, like, the crystalline in it. Dolovine...
Yeah,
it's not the best thing to mine. We're gonna look for some hadanite. That's what we're here for. And it's not to say you couldn't do that. Now, hey, I think we might be good here. Look at this guy. If I'm not mistaken, we'll go ahead and get a scan on this guy. Yeah, this is hadanite here. And so, with that being said, how about do you want to give her a shot there for?
Hang on. I had my sidearm out. There hostiles in caves?
Not in this cave. There can be hostiles in caves, but not in this one, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it. So,
all right, yeah.
I
wasn't sure, so I had the sidearm out.
No, you did well. I came in here wielding the old, laser. So here, actually, what I will do is I'm actually going to put my laser on it with no energy. and that will kind of give you an idea of what what Razor's up to here. So the reason I'm doing it, as you can see, he's actually increasing his intensity. That's actually on the mining UI. That's a 0 on mine. I've got a 0. If I roll it up for a little bit and roll it back down, you can see that he's actually going to move his up, and he might even have it pinned. But what you want to do is, there's on the left hand side, there's where the intensity is growing, and you can see that first green line, and then above that's a red line, and you want to keep the rock in between the two lines there. So are you at 100%?
I'm gonna back off here. I'm not seeing lines at all. What am I?
Oh, go ahead then. Why don't you just go down to 0? Just leave. You can leave a 0 on it, and I'll put some energy into it if you want.
Okay,
Wow, we 30K'd. Well, that's gonna bring an end to that video real quick. And we're back. That was the first 30K I have had in a long time. But that's what happened. We 30K'd. So
at least we kept all our stuff.
Yeah, we did. That was the cool thing. We had both of our suits on. We were back at CRUL1, and that wasn't even my spawn point. And I forgot to check if things were on the Pisces, but I think so, because the 30K protection seemed like it worked. So anyways, you can see here on the left-hand side, some energy is getting built into this Hadanite rock that we're on. And 4 is, Razor's cruising along here, getting it up, getting the intensity up, and it's a little tricky. But the cool thing is about hand mining and ROC mining and prospector mining is they follow the same principles. You gotta, the mini game is you gotta kind of put it in some intensity in it and keep it in between. Now you can see the green is building. And one thing I will say is you don't want to overcook these rocks. You don't want them to get up into the red, or if you do get them into the red, you want to run from them. But this looks like it's going to be an easy break. He's got this one. It fell out a little bit, but it's still close. And Hadanite is going to be the one that has the least, is the roughest. Well, I think Dolomite actually has rougher instability. So here they fell. You can see there are the rocks on the ground. And then if you hover if you hold down F, you can hit store. And you can store a rock. So, yep. And they will kind of travel a little bit from where they will, kind of go downhill a little bit. You can see here's one here. I'll just go ahead and store that. And the good news is once you store them, if you hit I in your inventory, you can see that they're in there. Give it a second and see if it will show us the inventory or not. Looks like it's being grumpy about showing me my inventory right now. Let's try it again. But yeah, you can see there's a Hadanite rock right in the backpack.
Yeah, I stored three rocks there for 3,000.
Yeah. So, and I think that those are worth, I forget how much each unit, like 1,400 unit. There's another chunk right there. Here, I'll grab it. Store. And all right, we'll start looking around for another rock to mine. This is here's a real good example here. This one's going to be Aphorite over here. See how it's I think. Oh no, that might be Hadanite.
That might be a small Hadanite.
Yeah, it is Hadanite. That almost looks like the same spot it spawned last time.
I think you might be right.
But so I'm going to go ahead and kick on my laser here. You can see I finished the scan, and now I'm just kind of increasing the energy. And
I'll zero out on this one.
Yeah. You don't need 2 lasers on this at all, but 4's just kind of, he can kind of watch the progress. And it's one of the cool things you can do if you're bringing someone along. You can kind of teach them, if they just put a 0% on the rock, how this is done. So I've got my energy up to 100.
sorry to interrupt you. Once you scan it, you don't have to actually have your laser on it as long as you're pointed at the rock. I can
Oh.
see your progress.
Hey, that's awesome. I didn't know that at all. That's super cool. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to not blow it up and, you know, keeping it in between the two lines. Feathering the mouse wheel back and forth, and there we go. There's some more hadnite to pick up. I'll actually pocket that thing. Now this can be a little tricky. Sometimes they fall into these crevices and that type of thing, but you know, you just want to grab them and store them.
Yeah, we'll just go whoever gets them, picks them up, and we'll just split everything at the end.
That's exactly right. So, you know, so you're moving along the cave sides, and oh, there's another one right there. Let's see. That one looks like it's more aphrite, but we'll see. Oh, no, that's another hadnite. Your turn, sir.
Hey, just 1 second. I was just on this. What are these little ones that you can pick up and store? What are these little things here?
Oh, yeah, this is, those are, like, organic. I mean, honestly, I think you can inspect it. I think that it is actually like some kind of a poop or something, to be honest with you. Here, I'll store one just so we have it in there. I've never known those things in these caves to be worth too much money. This one is Ranta dung. And so, you know, it's another item that, you know, it just happens to be in the caves. But I think, you know, obviously if you consider them like a placeholder for things in the future, you know. But there's that one right there.
All right. I'll have to put the dung down and grab my laser here.
Yeah, exactly. And so once Razor gets a scan on it, he'll just start firing, you know, firing his hand tool, and we'll, you know, start get this one broke down as well. Now, like I was saying, this isn't by far this is not the most efficient way to make money in the game. But if you're a starting player, this is an excellent way to make money, and it's fun. You know, you're kind of going to different caves. There are missions you can get for the caves, and here, as Ford picks these up, I'll show you the mission. Good job, though. Nice job on the laser. Good break. And so I will go ahead and show you here in the Moby Glass. If I look at the contract manager, there are these investigation missions, and it's going to be a cave on Daymar. You can also just pull those missions, like in the Moby here, and those can lead you to a cave. I actually just went to this place because, you know, I happened to notice that there was a lot of hand minables in this particular one. The last time I had landed with the raft, as it were. Like I had the raft for the subscriber program, I think, and that was a good break. There was a lot of rocks in that one.
There was a lot of rocks. There's probably 10, 12 rocks in that one. No wonder that was a little more volatile. I could tell right away.
And here's another one right here, and let's see if what kind this is. We'll get a scan on it. There's some aphrite right there, and we're not here for aphrite or dolomite, so we'll just kind of keep moving.
So it's the dark purple's the aphrite, light purple to pinky is our hadnite.
That's exactly right. So here's another. I think this is going to be aphrite as well. Yep. Boy, they've got the scanner dialed. Like, the one thing I will say is it used to have to kind of go through kind of a scan before it would tell you what it was. Like, you know how it does the scanning and shows you the stuff on the left-hand side? Like, it used to have to, like, all that stuff had to draw before it would tell you what kind it was before. You know,
okay.
Well, look at all, there's tons of these in here, though.
There's aphrite right there. Two last ones I just looked at are aphrite.
Yep, there's a couple of, I mean, we've just passed 5 rocks in, like, 10 feet, you know, it's crazy.
Yep.
Here's a hadnite up in here, I can see it.
Okay.
You gotta be careful in these
Good eye.
caves. Doesn't look like it wants to scan. Oh, there it goes. So it can be real dangerous in these caves. I mean, the physics are not great.
So you can still clip through the roof and stuff like that?
Yeah,
gotta be
you can
careful
clip
with
like
that,
crazy. But the reason I'm on Daymar is because the atmosphere is so much better here. Like, it's more forgiving. Like, the places where, like, you fall hard that have atmosphere.
More gravity. Yeah.
More gravity. Those ones are far more dangerous than the ones with the light gravity. I think Daymar is the one that I always stuck to because I always had the best success. There were lots of times I died in caves on other places, but seemed to be able to pull a loop out of Daymar. Okay. They were trying to jump up in there. I didn't let it. So yeah, feathering the mouse wheel back and forth, keeping it in the green is really what you want to do. And we got ourselves another break here.
Just getting rid of some of this Ranta dung that I picked up by accident.
Yeah. No problem. And so, yeah. Not necessarily the easiest loop to do, but I always think this is at least a little fun, somewhat fun. You can see that where those rocks broke there, they're not necessarily easy to grab, but some of them have fallen down here, and those ones look, you can see, are not as difficult. Yeah, those ones up in there are being kind of wonky, but there are ones that are more there's one at your feet. Razor.
I'm working on it. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm just trying here.
No, and they've actually seemed to have gotten rid of the weight state pretty good too. So I'm going to go ahead and hit I and take a look here. So far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10,000. I think that these are like, or that might even be 14,000. I think these things are like, I can't remember if they're 400 each or they're 1,400 each. Maybe they're just 400 each. So either way, that's a few thousand. So you can absolutely, between the two of us, you can see we probably got 10, 15, 20 rocks. So yeah, we'll keep moving along here.
I couldn't grab any more out of there. They were there's 2 still in there, but
yeah, they're wedged.
They were being really bad, and I was starting to clip. So
yeah, and that's
I got I got 10. I got 14 here as well.
Judgment is 14, and I've got 10 of them. So we got 24 between the two of us. I actually think that now that I'm thinking about it, I think they're about 400 each. So.
Well, that's not bad.
No, that's actually not bad at all. So we're gonna find another rock or two, and then we'll head back to CRUL1 and just and figure out how you sell the stuff, because I can't, I haven't hand mined in a long time, especially since the physicalized inventory. So I'm not entirely sure how the selling goes. Yeah, it looks like you'd be able to kind of come back up here and
hit a little dry spot here.
Yeah. What? When I used to do this, you can see that goes down quite a ways, and I can't see if they have the yellow there. Probably not going to go down that way right now. For our purposes of this video, I didn't want to get too creative in the caves.
There's a way upwards here over here on your left.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Maybe just go and check that out.
Yep. Go Go ahead and if you find one, let me know, and I'll come your way.
Yeah, you bet.
So I'm just gonna keep looking around here. I hope one day they have like some like, you know, rare, like really rare stuff like this that you can find or whatever, you know.
I think that it'd be really cool to have like really rare hand minables so that it brings it up to the level where some people want to do it.
Exactly, like a crazy, you know, obviously the best example in our world will be like a diamond, but those aren't worth much in Star Citizen's world, but some kind of a gem or something that.
Yeah, like something to rival Quantanium.
That would make the loop good, you know what I mean? That would, you know, if people go and look, maybe they only have a couple of rocks in one cave, you know, but...
I mean, you could start a new meta, like, there would be people going in and out of these caves, and it'd be, hey, are we going to get shot, or this and that? You would be bringing weapons down in these caves just to go mining. It could be dangerous, right? Yeah.
And I think caves used to be dangerous, because when hand mining first came out, you know, like... people would kind of wait in caves for people to show up, you know. I've definitely, I'm not sure I experienced that, but I watched videos where people talked about this kind of golden age of cave spelunking where, like, a lot of PvP was happening in caves with people laying in wait and stuff. Like, which I, you know, think is interesting, you know, kind of shooting a guy and running off with his ship or whatever, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Have their own little jump town.
Yep. So, you know, I know they talk a lot about, you know, kind of, you know, having these funnels. You know, that certainly would be another way to do it. So I think we're working our way back up towards the way out here. And I've seen several aphrite here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I was just checking. I think, yeah, this one's aphrite too. Yeah.
And there's definitely a spot where we could go down in deeper in the cave, but I think, you know, for our purposes here tonight, I think we've kind of demonstrated the loop. So you can probably just head back out and go figure out this, you know, because I do want to know. I think you can actually go to and sell this stuff at one of the local mining places. Here on Daymar.
That's what I would assume, yeah.
But I don't know if you have to, like, load it in your ship inventory first, which could be, you know, kind of cumbersome, but we'll see. And so I've climbed out here. Look at the night sky is looking fantastic. There's Crusader. Oh, Star Citizen. Back at the cave here. And
yeah, I made her out, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. There's some good rocks in there. That was alright. I mean, if a guy wanted to fill backpacks, he'd fill aphrite.
You know what's crazy is what hocus pocus was that? Like, I was looking at your name marker down in the cave, and then you're like, I made it out, and I turned around, and you're standing right there. And I looked back, and your cave marker, like, your name marker was gone, and I'm like, what the heck? That was awesome. All right, we'll fly over to, like, one of these mining places and see how to get rid of this stuff. I think that's a good thing for people to learn and know. Yeah.
If you go and you land her there, and I'll run in and find out, and if I can sell mine, then you run on in and sell yours, and then if not, I'll run back out to the ship and we'll put it into the ship inventory and see if that works.
Hey, before I do it, jump in the pilot seat for just a second and look at all the rock icons. Like, I don't know how this necessarily happens, but it's interesting. Just jump in the pilot seat for just a sec. There are so many rock icons. It almost looks like somebody broke an ROC mine. Like along the bottom of the UI. Do you see them?
Oh, wow. There's hundreds of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's, you know...
That's exactly what the ROC looks like, or the rocks from ROC look like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's primarily because that's what these things are. You know, it's the same thing. It's just, you know, you're picking them up by hand instead of getting hundreds of them with the ROC, which is, you know, obviously a much funner loot. You know, in the or maybe not necessarily funner, but certainly a lot more lucrative. The one thing I, you know, can't, you know, overstate enough is this is not an efficient way to collect money. But if you don't have any money in Star Citizen, it's certainly a way you could collect money, and it would be just fine.
Engines online.
And it's fun, I think, to come to these planet surfaces when you're kind of getting new, you know, anytime, but if you're new to the game and you just want to kind of immerse yourself in the game a little bit. Good stuff. So I'm going to get about 5,000, and then I'm going to turn around and look and see if I can find one of those mining facilities. Cool. Let's see here. That is Agger Flats. There's Shubin. We'll go. That's exactly where we're headed. Really? We'll fire this guy off. She's being grumpy about going into quantum there. Are you kidding me? Won't do it. Let me hit an OM first.
I'd say try a backflip. I always do. If I do a backflip, lots of times I can get myself back onto that right track.
Yeah, you know, it was definitely being grumpy. You know, I just hit an OM one time, and
Oh yeah, that'll do it too.
you know, it's well, Star Citizen. Sometimes a little like having an old car. You just kind of twist the key and, you know.
Hold your tongue just right.
Yeah, exactly, and maybe tap your foot and do a little spin, and all of a sudden your headlights come on. Let me see if I can. Yep, so, alright, cool, so we're headed now. We'll hit Shubin, and then we'll go ahead and see if we can't sell this stuff, and, you know, we'll bring an end to this thing. So, I did a lot of hand mining, you know, when I first started in Star Citizen and didn't have a penny to my name, and, you know, didn't really have any, like, a real big, yeah, I don't really do the combat side of stuff as much as some people do, and you know, I was really happy with, you know, with doing this part of it, just for the fact that, there is progression in that. You can hand mine to you ROC, you can ROC mine to the prospector, and quite honestly, you can use the prospector so you can buy the mole. So, I mean, and that's not something that's a couple, you know, that's a couple of months. I mean, depending on how crazy you are, if you play every day, but that's a lot of good gameplay, a lot of fun, and along the way, a lot of crazy things happen. Oh, there's a couple ships down here on Shubin. Maybe some ROC miners.
Yeah, you're probably right. I wouldn't mind getting myself a mole eventually. Now that I'm making pretty good money on that prospector, so.
Yeah, the mole's, you know, it's great ship, and
it's well, like we said before, it's more fun with more people.
it is exponentially more fun with more people. And when I first bought the thing, I soloed with it. I won't lie, but you know, I've gotten to the point where I just solo with my prospector now, just because it's just a lot funner to have people on it. So, all right, so I am looking for the orange. Definitely gonna come down here and just look for the orange sign. That's where you want to kind of land by. Ah, that's right there. There's that orange little half moon there. That tells me that that's. And the one thing I really like about the Pisces is it's just you can tuck her right in here. Put her right on the front door.
Okay, that's the selling office there. Hey, like the
Yep.
Right? The half moon? I never knew that. That's good too.
Yeah, the little orange half moon there, yep. So I'm going to go in there and look and see if they'll buy the stuff out of our backpacks or not. And they may not. And then I may have to come and load it into the ship inventory. But I hope I don't. Oh boy.
I'm down.
Uh-oh, hold on. Oh, you're back up again. I did put it where it was going to drop you right on. That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny.
It'll lip right out of the door.
Yeah, that was. I put it where that ramp is going to be right on that first step. Probably not the wisest place to put it.
You go there ahead there, my friend.
All right, so here we're going to see if we can sell. Notice it just said the Pisces, right? It won't let me sell out of my backpack. I'm going to go put these in the Pisces, and we'll go ahead and see if you can sell this. I know you can sell this stuff here, so if that's the case, that's the case, but it's interesting to me if that's what you have to do is, and I think it's good for people to know that they have to load this stuff into their ship inventory before they are able to. You might want to bring a little bigger ship than the Pisces if that's the case. And so I'm going to click on vehicles over here. And I'm going to move this Hadanite into the... And I'm going to count the ones that I move in, and then I'm going to have... Maybe I'll have you move a couple into the inventory too to see if the ones if you put in the inventory show up for the sale too. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I put 10 of them in there. Will you put 2 of your rocks in the ship inventory?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just do it just because I'd like to see if it says 10 or 12. And then whatever it is. I mean, we'll divvy her up.
Yeah. So I've got my personal, my vehicles. How do I get one to the other? Because it's in the same space.
I think, isn't there a tab on both sides? One on the right-hand side, one on the left?
Oh, yeah, there is.
And you can toggle it there.
Good eye.
Yeah. No worries.
And just for reference, I cannot see what you've put in. Now I've got 2 in the vehicle.
Yeah, I only see 10 units in there.
And I've got 2 in there as well.
So, and those 10 units are... Oh, they're worth $275 a piece. So those 10 units are $27.50. So it's... I remember that being worth a little more than that, but still... not terrible. I mean, most assuredly not the most efficient way to make money, but not terrible at all. Out of curiosity, like if you go in and look, you've got 2 in the ship. Go in there and see. It did say the Pembroke backpack when I was going to sell the second time, and maybe I didn't click it right. So go in there and look and see if you go in there to the selling terminal and see if you see if it does show you the Pembroke backpack as an option to sell out of. I might have missed that.
I put 5 into
The ship?
Ship, yeah, and I've got 9 in my pack.
All right. If you click on the Sell tab, I wonder if it shows you the Pembroke backpack.
I can only see the Pembroke backpack. I can't see the Pisces.
Well, that makes sense. So can you sell directly out of the backpack?
Yes.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I must not have clicked on the Sell tab correctly when I did it. So that is cool that you could do that. That
I
actually,
stole 9 out of my backpack for 2,400 and change.
yeah, go grab the other 2 and let's sell those, and we'll wrap up the video. So yeah, you know, this is kind of an entry-level gameplay thing, but I think it's fun. It's a good thing to know, and it's a good thing to learn. And there certainly could come a time in the future where they put more expensive minables in the caves, and understanding how this loop works would be really good. And also, it's not a bad idea that you can do this in jail as well if you happen to get a crime stat. There's a couple different ways to earn your way out of the pokey a little faster. One of them is the oxygen missions, which we do from time to time, and the other thing is you can do mining and turn in the rocks for some. They'll take some of the time off that you're spending in jail to do that. So. Forrest's gonna, he is gonna go ahead and sell, get rid of those last 2 units, but probably between the 2 of us, we probably made about, maybe 5,000-6,000 AUEC, so, once again, not the best use of our time, from an efficiency standpoint, but, fun to shoot a video and do a little cave spelunking and wander around in the old Pembroke suit. So I think we'll call it good there for the night. Thanks everybody if you happen to stick around and watch some of this stuff, and we'll see you around the verse.